Hey everyone, this is Tracy with Color Me This. Welcome to my channel and welcome back if you are returning. Today is episode 139 and we are doing our daily color, finishing this floral page using the Kalour 180 full color barrels in the elephant tin. So I am going to get started here. I want to do the greens. And I have 3 greens right here. I am not using 2 of the greens. This is the light, medium, and dark of 168, 116, and 22. And I'm coloring everything a little bit different than I have been because I just finished doing a series of images with a lot of detail, with, following fur, doing fur lines and different things like that. So because of how fast these pencils work, I am just doing like a fast, not focusing on the veiny realism. I just want to get some color down, and these just have a lovely, soft, easy to blend, so they really lend themselves well to ovals, doing your ovals to cover a lot of space very quickly. So I have to say, of all of my pencils, the Kalours, this actually feels like it's missing a vein, so I'm adding an extra. So I feel that these are just, they're fairly lightweight pencil. They have a small pigment core. This is like a 3mm. So I just feel like these are my speed pencils. So I noticed that yesterday. It wasn't even, I spent my time talking. And so it wasn't like I wanted to speed color. It was just the way the pencils the direction that they took me. So I didn't even clean up from yesterday. I have some over lines going over, and I'm just going to color them in and see what happens. I don't think every page that you make has to be a work of art, especially if you are coloring to relax, and everybody's way of relaxing while they color is different. Sometimes for me, getting lost in the details is how I relax, and other times it's more the feel of the pencil on the paper and how maybe I want to be releasing a lot of stress for the day, so I want to go quickly, or I want to get engrossed so I forget my troubles of the day, and in those kinds of coloring I'm maybe working on my realism. So I think that you can do whatever you need to do to make coloring help you to be a more calm, relaxed, happy person. So because I noticed that's how I worked yesterday, I am just going to go ahead and power through this pretty quickly today, I hope. Not get bogged down in the details. That is the nice thing about having multiple sets of pencils. It's, for me, as I get to know each set of pencils, they behave a little different. They have their pluses and minuses, and so I find that I do change how I color according to which pencils I am using. And that is okay. I kind of like that. So these are the pencils, again, just to reiterate, that were sent to me through the mail, very poorly packaged, and the tin came undone, probably right when they left the building. The lid popped off, and so these were all around in the box when I got them. So the tips have a tendency to crumble and crack, and even before I started this, I was doing a little test case with figuring out which of the greens I wanted to focus on for the leaves, and I don't remember which of the greens, I think it was this middle one, that a piece of the tip just kind of crumbled off. So I guess what I'm trying to say is, when you get your pencils, do pay attention to how they come shipped to you if you have purchased them on, say, Amazon or something. Because how they arrive and how well packaged they are is an indicator of what their condition is going to be as you get to coloring. And I don't have any expectations at this point of these pencils having to perform and not crumble, because I fully expect them to crumble. And I do have lots of colors to choose from, so if I find one that's extra crumbly, I do have a couple like that are definitely have been damaged. So I am treating these as just a nice, quick, work them fast. Don't expect them to be perfect. Notice also for me, I always leave some white. And for this coloring, for this particular image, I am coloring everything in. I'm not leaving any white like I typically do. Just coloring everything in because I can. I think these are a very vibrant pencil for the price. I noticed on Amazon when I created my shop list. Actually, I already had one, because this is now the second time. I bought these after I had started the daily color, I believe. And so when I went in to add this episode to that list, I noticed that these were on sale. Normally they're $39, and they were on sale for like $29.49. So you might want to check that out if you are interested in getting these. And this is the set, the full color barrels. Depending on what size you buy, you end up with a subset. So I bought a smaller set. It's funny to me that a 180 is a smaller set, but it is. And so there's a 180, a 240, a 300, and I believe the new 520 is, quote unquote, the complete set of all of the colors. But who knows? Maybe they're always creating new colors. So if you have the bigger sets already, you can buy smaller sets. You can mix them. I have at least 3 sets of these, 2 Kalour and 1 Brute Funer, that have the same number. 2 of them are full color barrel, 1 is a black barrel, and they have the same number in colors. So the smaller set you get, it's a subset of the bigger sets. So you can't buy these individually. One of the exciting things for me about the Erogeton is it is a not quite budget, I'd call it a mid-priced, but you can buy singles. So for some people that is very important for them, that they don't want to have to buy an entire set. Maybe you have limited storage, like I for years had very limited storage, as I lived with my husband full-time in a 32-foot fifth wheel. So we really had to monitor our space. So I didn't own any budget pencils until we were here renting, knowing I was going to buy, and then that was when I bought the Amazon Basics and the Brute Funer Squares. Those were my very first 2 budget pencil sets. And of course now I am in a small home that has way more storage. Here's the funny thing. So I'm looking up here. I only see half of these 2 leaves. Like I see the bottom leaf and part of the top. So I'm going to apologize now, as I was rambling on, that you did not get to see me color all of those leaves. The other thing I was thinking too yesterday, I did a video. It was a video of a house actually for my mom. And usually if I video a home, because she's not here in the community, so I have to make the video, load it up. Normally I don't do sound, but for this particular home, I was narrating. And I never even thought to ask her, because she's like, oh yeah, I liked this and that, and we discussed it. And I said, did you hear when I talked about X? I can't remember what it was. And he says, oh no, I never listen. He just watches. So what that means to me is that I think that these videos being real time, unless I don't get the view of these pencils so that you can easily see what the colors are, but you can always refer to the description because I put all of the colors in the description for each video. But you don't have to listen to me talk. If you just want to color, just turn me down. I actually have some people that I really love their commentary. Other people I don't feel that I need their commentary, and I love to just watch coloring videos in the background of whatever I'm doing. And so you can mute me, turn me down, you can speed me up, slow me down. One of the things I did when I first colored is I did a lot of tutorials, and I would stop. It would take me, if it was a 1 hour long tutorial or a 2 hour long tutorial, I would stop and rewind, stop and rewind, stop and rewind many times. So that's the nice thing about these, is you can choose to go at your own pace, which is what I really love about videoing and watching videos. I am actually not a very patient person, and I lose interest in things if I find it goes too slow. I had a problem with that when I worked and I went to meetings. Trying to hold my interest was a challenge. I believe I have colored every green leaf. I need to color the rest of this. See, my habit is to leave some white, and I am trying not to, on this image, leave any white. I have a little tiny bit down here that I actually have the lightest green, and I had decided yesterday, moving back down here, that I want to have very little white on this particular picture, just because, to be a little different. I am tempted. So these little flowers, I am tempted to leave them white. And a lot of time with white flowers, you will just see a little hint of the green of the veins at the base where the petals start. So that is what I'm going to do with these. It also saves us some time, because I'd like to finish this today. Oh shoot, and I was going to look up the color. These tips, by the way, do not stay sharp. They're quite soft. So these are already dull from coloring what I colored. I picked up the lightest one. That is 102, by the way. And that is what I'm going around the base. And I also used it down here on the pencil to turn it, for the most part, green. And so I'm going to go back now with these same small flowers with the one I just sharpened, which is the second lightest, 168. So you not only can you just turn my volume down and watch, if you don't have these pencils, you have other sets. The best comparison charts that is all-inclusive, that is free, is the one from My Colorful Country Life. And even a lot, like I think she has the Black Barrel Brute Funers that I believe are potentially the same as the Kalours, so a lot of the sets overlap, and there are multiple sets, and I think she has some really large number of sets, like, boy, I want to say, I don't want to mislead you though, at least a dozen, and I think it's way more than a dozen. And it's pretty small, 26 pages long, and I have used it to organize and inter-organize between the multiple sets that I have. And then the other really good comparison set is from Karen Hull, and that one I purchased, and that's the professional sets, where I like the My Colorful Country Life sets because they are a mix of a few of the high-end, then a mix of budget and middle of the road priced sets. And I just think that you can do, a light, medium, dark of olive green. I think that also works well. So those are the flowers I wanted some green in, and I am finished with the greens now. Moving on to, I think I'm going to grab, green is of course my favorite color because that's the pencil that I put at the beginning. I'm now grabbing the purple, and the first thing, I've got all 4 purples in my hand. Getting them sorted light to dark. My lights to darks are 62, 149, 147, and 80. There you go. Again, that light wisteria, like I said yesterday, it looks to be the darkest, but it is not. In fact, I believe it actually goes this way. I'll have to check that out. Nope, I'm looking at my cheat sheet. It is the way I had it, like that. All right, so the first things first, I am going to color this pencil all the way. There we go. And then I want this, oh, I missed a leaf. I'll have to go in and fix that. So for these flowers, I didn't really do the veins yesterday on this blue one I colored yesterday. I was talking and I just was feeling the speed of these pencils and was just enjoying these ovals. So that's what I'm going to do for all of these flowers. Now I do like to do, this is my darkest color, so I am going to follow how we have these leaves all overlap and underlap in the same order. So you're going to see me sort of follow that guide, but I'm still not going to focus on my veining that I have been repeatedly demonstrating. I am just going for the get this thing all colored in quickly. These are so lovely and soft to work with that it feels very much reminiscent of when I color with Copic markers. They just are so creamy. In fact, then one of the things someday for me to do, I'm going to see if this light wisteria is darker. It's pretty dark. So I'm just whitening these edges, and notice I'm not going so hard. I'm actually letting there be some tooth because I want to blend this in with the next lighter color. So yes, using the Copics as a base. Someday I'm going to get to that. I've just been enjoying so much using all of my pencils that I am saving up the next step of doing a base color with the Copics till when I get to the point that I'm a little bit burned out of just doing pure pencils. And I have no idea when that's going to happen. No idea. So yeah, if you go to My Colorful Country Life, you can download the giant conversion chart. I've also noticed another color comparison chart person who's been doing a bunch very recently is Rachel Henderson. I have been using some of her swatch charts for my new pencils. I believe I used her Erogeton. Rogitons aren't as commonly used as some of the other pencils, and so I had a harder time finding a swatch chart filled out that would work for me, and Rachel has one that worked very nicely. So now I'm just doing with the second to lightest color, doing some quick ovals, not worrying yet about filling in that tooth. So I was going to look and have with me today to share with you tomorrow's set, and I did not get it. So it'll just be a surprise. We do get more flowers tomorrow, completely different kind of flowers. I'm going to go one darker again because I have some harsh lines I'd like to soften up. All right, lightest color. And I am doing ovals, leaving no white. I never fill in all the tooth. But here I go. Oh, I see a second leaf. These leaves I forgot are attached to the two bottom flowers. Trying to keep my hand off to the side so it doesn't get in the way. Oh, we have some crumbs. I have filled in all the tooth there, and so now I see crumbs forming. Let's see, if I go to my ultraviolet, this is the one color blend that my favorite color I started with was the darkest color. I'm just trying to get some dark back. I softened it all up, and now get it back to dark. I've got Nice. I'm liking that. I'm going to grab, oops, sorry about that. Softening the transition line. This is the third darkest color. And the purples, I only have 4 total colors. All right, so I'm going to call that one done. Grabbing my greens to do the 2 leaves that are left undone. Starting with the darkest green, olive 22. I will say, these pencils are gonna go quick because I keep going through the tips pretty quickly. They are definitely soft. All right, so before I take this one away, 22. Next one is light olive 116. Lightest is 168. And that completes this leaf. I'm going to head back to the other one. Which is right here. Back to the darkest. I have now, from my mom, 3 pictures in this book. She's catching up with me. Colored quite a few pages, so I need to post those. I did finally remember to get permission. And she just sent me, she finished the dinosaur page now. She keeps calling them the dragon page, and I just have not corrected her. She can call them whatever she wants. All right, middle green. This is the set that my mom has. She did the 120 of the Kalour full barrel that came with the case. She's very pleased. While she was here, I had her using the Kalour black barrel, the 120 in the tube. Then I had her, she was here for one of my coloring days for the coloring class or group, and a person specifically wanted to test out some budget sets for purchasing them to have because she was going home for the summer. And my mom did the same test, and she also picked as her favorite. She did really like the set that I gave her to work with. So that is what. She wasn't going to take them home with her, though. First we thought she would, but she didn't have any room in her luggage to bring them with her. So she just bought, it's nice that The sets are that inexpensive that she can get home and buy her own set. So that's what she did. Okay, done with greens again. Moving on. Oops, these purples are in the wrong spot. Okay, so next, I think I'll just put these purples off to the side. I've got I'm going to make this flower yellow. And let's just see how that goes. So the middle, I have decided that this is actually a middle. Because that's what my little note indicates. And that's the two browns. Okay. Then along the base here, I want to make sure I want this to be predominantly yellow. Like the yellow I did with the pencil. Let's just see how that blends out together. These yellows are so soft, you guys. We're talking butter soft. Probably a little bit more filler than I would like, but so just a really nice feel. These are a pencil that you can only layer so much, and they end up, when the tooth fills in and there's so much filler, you can't really get more color down, but they still are such a nice, satisfying coloring experience. I can see why so many people like these. So I was spending a little bit more time with the blend here because the transition from the orange to the yellow is not quite as natural as all these other colors. I've just gone light to dark of the same color. Where the orange, I kind of cheated and I put two yellows. I mainly wanted to be able to have just 5 color combos in total. All right, so I have one more yellow to lighten this up. And I haven't shown you the colors, have I? So the center of these flowers is 25 ochre. The darkest for the center is light reddish brown, 034. And then I'm not using the darkest orange. I'm just using so the lightest is 036, warm yellow 136, and the orange is 101. And bright orange was my color I picked for my favorite color. Almost done. The only white I'm going to leave are any of the flowers that I want to be white. And I would say on any of these colors, if you want to leave something white, pick a color. In my case, I used green. I could have used gray or beige, very pale yellow, but you don't want to leave whites just white and uncolored completely. You want to add a little bit of color for interest. And in reality, in the world, nothing is really white. It always has some sort of color to it. Okay, so that is the yellow version. And now I want to make this flower over here. I want to make orange. So I am going to start with the lighter brown. I'm going to use these 4. And let's see if I can get them rotate it for you. I'm going to hopefully not need the lightest yellow. I don't think I'll need it. So yellow 136 to the bright orange 101, 133, and 025. And I'm going to start with 025. And it should look somewhat orange-ish. Just going around here. Get my shadows blocked in. Let's see if you can see the whole flower. Almost went too far. We are at 36 minutes, and I'm going to pick up the pace because I would really like to have this done. Done today. I really like when I can completely finish, because, you know, I'm going to have the butterflies carry over unless I can really speed things up. Now moving into the lighter orange. Leaving lots of tooth. So yeah, I've got the butterflies. I have to see if I haven't even thought about those yet. I have no cheat notes, so we'll see if I can do them today or if I want to map out some colors. They're small enough that I don't think I will have to have a color plan. Okay, then the darker yellow. I could have used a little less tooth even, make it even lighter for this yellow. But what I can do these still feel really good. If I think that's a little on the flat side, I can always go in a little bit with this brown and darken some of these edges up to make it interesting. Somewhat like that. All right, now one more pass and then I'll move on. This is the dark orange. All right. This is the yellow, so I skipped the light orange, and I'm going back to this yellow, and I'm just using some heavy pressure to fill in the tooth. All right. That's very pretty. Next, I want to do a light blue. I'm going to use the 3 lightest blues. Reverse. Pale blue 178, 130, 165. And here's what I'm going to do. I'm actually going to start and these tips, I'm going to make the opposite. I'm going to do the center most part of the flower. Here, let's make sure you can see what I'm doing. I hope that I fixed that before I got too far along. So because I already have at the top this darker blue, I need this flower to be totally different. And it's actually a different shape too. All right, so this is just a little bit of a blue tip. This is the middle color called Deep Blue. I am doing lines for this, kind of doing back and forth. Now we're going to go with the middle color of blue. And that is exactly what I am after. This is just some heavy pressure to fill in the tooth. I'm going to switch to the lightest blue. I don't want this to get any darker. Okay, that one's done. And then I have 2 sides of these little bell flowers. And I'm going to color them very quickly. Coming over here, doing the exact same simple coloring. I'll tell you what, I'm coming up here and I'm just going to do a very simple bluish butterfly here. Back down here, I want to darken the tops. I see where I need to put a little bit of green. Okay, setting those down. Grabbing the pinks, all 5 pinks, and I am going to use a few of them. Okay, let's see if I've got my pinks in the right order. This is also one that the barrels don't match, so I am referring to my cheat sheet because I remember this. Okay. The lightest is the shallow pink, 157. It is not the bright fluorescent pink that shows. 086, 048, 146, and 098. So for these very simple flowers here and back here, I am using shallow pink. Oh, I see a leaf I missed. Okay. I'm just using a tiny bit of the second color. And then, to be more interesting, even one darker than that for this one. Okay, I've got this butterfly here. These are just going to be very quick colors. All right, going with the darkest color. This is our last flower. Just doing the very dark corners and these little triangle bits with the dark peeking from behind. All right, next lightest color, Mulberry Red 146. That was the darkest color. What are we at for time? Oh, I'm over. Let's get this done. A little bit over. Back to doing little circles. And then I will finish the other two butterflies and the rest of this butterfly on my own. Okay, left a lot of tooth in that. Moving on to pink. Nice. Next lighter is going to be light rosy pink 86. And I am using heavy pressure, filling in all that tooth, going all the way to the edge, even though everything tells me I should leave some white. That is how I have trained myself. All right, I have 2.5 butterflies left. I will do the reveal of the completely finished project on a review day. Let's see if, yeah, looks like it must be focused. And I am done. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed the coloring of these flowers with the Kalour full color barrel elephant tin 180 set. So join me tomorrow and we will be coloring with a set that I have to go figure out which one it is. And we get to do more flowers. So then this is all about flowers this week. So this set, this might be one set per row, 35 flowers, probably going to spend some time here and maybe get through all of my sets. We'll see how ambitious I am. I just have to really pre-plan it. So do all the YouTube things, like, share, comment, and consider subscribing, and I will see you all here tomorrow.